Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. Good. So, I don't know what's going on right now. So, yeah, I got a cough, I guess. So, in the 2 sessions ago, I did use Claude Code to generate a change for the mod builder, and we have not reviewed it yet. Before we go there, let me do a fetch here. Let's go to main branch. Let's get latest. Okay, then we delete this one. Okay. So what did we delete? What did we merge? Merge this, 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 and this. Okay. Okay, then let's go to mod builder. So we did a change where we source parents. Source legacy name of parent. Should we maybe delete this here? Parents. Source parents. Is that true? Legacy name. Okay. Multi-source. Source parent. Multi-source. Target. Okay, so good, so we need to review this and see if it all makes sense. App source files list, okay, has multi-source file, bool. Is this ever used? It is, okay, cool. Get first app source file, okay. Get first rel source file. Verify type. For I, app source file enumerate. Okay. All source files build the same target file. Wildcard matches add more source files to it. Okay, if star. Remove this here. No, it's still here. App source files. One. I wonder if we should do here. Can we make this smaller here? Over to the side. Let's say here contains expected to contain 1n. Okay. So what else do we have? App source file. Okay. So file wildcards. What about the other wildcards? We saw wildcards. Where does the other wildcard resolving for the single source happen? this is for the multi-source. This one is for the target. Where's the other one? It's this one, no? We saw wildcards. Right, it creates a new file. Right, it resolves the wildcards here. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Just nothing. I wonder if we should move this also there. So can we do the same function? No, we can't because it does different things. Just do bundle file thing here. No, I don't think we can move it. Okay, fair enough. I think this is fair. So, and then here we have multi-source and multi-source target list. Yeah. Verify not JSource and bundle file cannot specify source and multi-source together. Okay, let me put that on one line here. Okay, make multi-source bundle file. Why is this a, hold on. Why is there a function in a function? Is that necessary? Can we move this out or not? Files. Oh. Oof. So this one. What? Okay. function ends here. Okay, let me take this. I think we can put it up here. Oops. And yeah, make it a private params. Oh boy. Okay, looks like the reason why it's there is because it uses a whole bunch of other things. Okay, maybe we move it back for now. I see. Well, it's kind of sucks though. Okay, make multi-source bundle file. I don't like having a function in a function, but I see why it did that. Because a bunch of parameters here. Not great. Pen to pen. Test it against none so that an empty list is reported as a bad configuration. Instead of silently building no target file door. Multi-source is not none. Source is not none. Test it against none. Test it against none. Okay, I don't quite understand that. Tested against none so that an empty list is reported as a bad configuration. An empty list is reported as a bad configuration. Where is it reported? What is source? So if this is empty, then mandatory with multi-source. Cannot contain a wildcard with multi-source because it cannot be derived from a single source file name. Okay. Okay, fair enough. So to me, this looks like it makes sense. A bunch of tests here. I didn't look through all the tests, but seems to be fine. So yeah. Okay. Then change config. Change config. It moved this one to Utah. Change. Resolve wildcards. Okay. Okay, so this seems fine so far. Then next, let's look at this one. Treat none as empty so that optional params can be passed in. Treat none as empty. Okay. Okay, let's look at engine first. Build file type. Okay, supports multi-source. What the hell is that? Copy. Okay, let's look at copy first. Build multi-copy function callable list str params t. Supports multi-source. Tells whether multiple source files can build the given target file together. Okay. If target type is any or WND, return source type equals target type, yes. If target type is str or CSF, return that equals, yeah, return false. Okay, this seems right. App sources is now also a list. Okay, app sources file, app sources. Okay, app sources copy requires rebuild. So now passes always lists. Yeah, unable to copy sources, join sources to target. What is join sources? Join. Okay. Fair enough. Build job app sources. Okay. Build copy sources. Unable to copy sources. Blah blah. Okay. Sources list string. Source for source in sources. If not exists, the copy result success false. Yes. Source type get file type. Yeah. Copy. Okay, let me look into this function. How do I jump to a class? I don't know. Bit copy. Yeah. What is it? Oops. Copy. Def copy. Def copy. Source type. So it gets it from the first one. What if the what's multi-source? What if we mix different source types? Hmm. 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 Let me ask here. Do we verify anywhere that multi-sources of the same type, that multi-source files of the same type? If not, shall we add it? We already verify anywhere. Source files. I haven't seen it, so I wonder if if we should open a new session or reuse this one. I'm not sure if it needs this context here. Let's open a new session. Good. Let it think about that problem, because like if it takes a source type here and let's say the next source file has a different type, then that would fall apart, right? So there probably needs to be a verification somewhere. Yeah. Oh. Okay, looks like I need to log in again. Okay, let me black out the screen for a moment, because I don't know what will pop up here. It will open my website. Okay, it does some stuff. It wants me to log in here. Okay, I will do that. Now it asks me to check my email. Oh boy. Why is it so complicated? Why is it logging out in the first place? Authorize. Okay, that was successful. Then let me get the image back. There we go. Okay, then let me ask that question again. Do we already verify in bundles? Verify. Let's be vague for now. Do we already verify somewhere? Sources. How about before we ask this question, let's check this, read this code a bit more. Although, let's ask it anyway. Okay. Okay, so it gets the source type here. Yes, if this amount of sources is larger 1, then it will do a multi-copy function. Return multi-copy function. Multi-copy function. Okay. Print the result. What does that do? Type equals copy. Selects the function that builds one target file from multiple files. Symlinks are never taken here because a merge file has no single source to link to. If target T is CSF, return merge to CSF. Target is STR, merge to STR. Otherwise, concat to text file. Merge game text. Requires text transform. Do delete comments. Do exclude. Encoding. I didn't even know that you can write it like this. Interesting. Multi-source type compatibility is already verified against the target type. What should we actually add? Multi-source type compatibility. Yes, it's already verified in 2 places, but not as the same type rule. You see that? Fails a bad multi-source configuration in the pre-build step, so that it does not fail in the middle of a long-running build step. Multi-source is supported. Supports multi-source. Get multi-copy function. Post loop over every source and call that supports multi-source. Checked against the target type. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it looks like it's already covered. Target relative verification already covers every supported combination. Okay. Leave as is. I don't know if it really needs to do anything then here. Maybe we could just stop it. Okay. Good. Well, then that's answered. Copy. So it falls back to utivate here. Target encoding. Text lines. Write text lines. Transform text lines. Applies all text transformation of the given params to the given lines. Lines are expected to be read without line ending and are returned with line ending. Delete comments, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, let me see. Thing. Okay, that one is just the sources. Return self app sources. Except was series where release had stored one source file. Okay. Here we can probably say legacy. Return the first source file. Build event scripts of mod projects. Call this. App sources. App source. What is this here? Number of files built from parent dir. Count. list. Why does it need to call it like this? Here is list. That's weird. Or is it not? This is a list str. This as well. So why is it calling? Maybe for like a copy or so? It makes a copy. I don't know. I don't know why it's this here. Maybe there's a reason. Fails a bad multi-source configuration in the pre-build step, so that it does not fail in the middle of a long-running build step. Verify multi-source is supported. Verify supports multi-source. Cannot build target file of type that from multiple source files because source file of type is not supported for it. Okay, fair enough. Apps target. All source files are hashed. Okay. Get source status. Get source status. Okay, this one has changed here in a way. Folds the status of all source files into the most significant one, so that the change in any source file rebuilds the target file. Ah, I see. Okay, I'm not sure if this is correct, but the idea is probably right. Get status with file hash registry. Get source status, source status. Okay, this stuff is a bit more complicated here. So, populate file status in thing. File in thing.files. Is status relevant for build? If not, has multi-source. So this is a legacy path. Yeah. This is a new path. Get build file status. Apps. The status of a multi-source file is a combined status of all its source files. What I would like to do here is flip this. Yeah. Okay, so it seems okay. Hopefully. Get source status. Okay, I don't know about this function here. Why do we call this and then this? Unknown. Okay, so text from a hash registry. Is that what I did before as well? Yeah, I did here. Then combined status max. Max. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Get combined status. Mm-hmm. Combined status. Maybe it's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Get verify status. I don't see any glaring mistakes here, but it's also very difficult to really understand if this is all correct. Yeah. Okay, so the last thing we need to look into is copy, right? This is where the bulk of the logic will be. Merge game text. Builds one game text file from multiple game text files. Each source file is loaded into its own compiler slot and is merged over the first slot. So a label that is defined again in a later source file overwrites the earlier one. Requires text transform. I think this one also existed before. Oh boy. Where's the before function? Requires text transform. Right. Okay, I think this one we need to study a bit more closely. Language. Text params cannot be applied by the compiler, yeah. So this is basically the pre-compiler step where it first applies some text modifications on temporary files, but I wonder where was the code before that? I don't see it here. It must be somewhere. I don't see it. Where is it? I guess it was before an engine. No. Where was it before? How? Maybe it didn't touch it. Let's search for game text compiler. Ah. 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 CSF to STR. Ah. Ah. Copy to text file. Copy to text file if needed. Requires text transform. Text file. Ah. Ah. If target is STR and not source is CSF. Ah. So right now I don't understand where does the match this. What? Aha. It does it here. I see. Right, it's here. Copy to text file needed. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay, and here it does the same thing. Requires text transform. Right. Params. Text file. I think this one we can optimize by removing I don't want to make a mistake here. I think we can optimize this here it doesn't need to check if needed, because we already know that it's needed because this test here has passed. So to me it looks like we should be able to make a to make a copy of this function and do copy to text file and then remove this and success we do true, and then do that. And then but then it creates this here twice. Okay, who's calling this? That. So 3 cosines. I think we just do that. Then here we do this. I should do. Okay. So requires a text transform. Get file. str. Params. Swap and set language. Target CSF. Else as language. Save multi-str. Target. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, this function is quite a bit complicated. Merge game text. Target. Type str. Target T. CSF has language. Language arc. Language. It's a. I see. Okay. It's an argument. Okay. Language. Okay. Yes. This language. Okay, why is it so complicated? Like, this seems to be very unnecessary, right? Yeah, this looks overcomplicated the way this is written. So I think we can just replace it like so. That's much simpler. Maybe the idea was that it would be cheaper, but to me is language. To me this looks fine. It's more readable. Yeah, then let's remove this here. Language. Okay. Okay, so it will ask to load CSF or multi-str or just an str. If index is larger 0, then merge and override. Okay. Swap and set language. Okay. CSF file stores its language, but the str file needs the language written out with it. Append. Target. Why is this orange and this white? What is this? Because this is a function argument. Function arguments are orange. Interesting. Okay, so append. So the way this game text compiler works is that you can give it an arbitrary amount of these arguments here, these keywords, load this or save that, and then you give it a file ID and a pass and a language, and you can chain these things like in the command line. And so you can do multiple things, like you load multiple files, you can merge and overwrite them, and you can then save them out. And so you just give the executable a whole bunch of commands, and then it does it all in one go. The advantage of doing this way is that it's very efficient, because the executable just needs to launch once, can do all the operations in one go, and when the runtime is done, the whole operation is done. If you have a limited instruction set where you can just do one thing at a time, then you need to invoke the executable over and over and do like this operation, and which will be more expensive. And so this is like the most efficient way, because everything can be done in memory. You don't need to write out temporary files to do this, right? You just have the chain of commands, and in memory it juggles all the data and then it writes out one result. It's the most efficient way. That's why it looks a bit so complicated here with the command line arguments. These are all command line arguments here. Yeah. Okay. So I can't see any error here. Yeah. Now it can mean that I missed something, surely, but it looks very promising. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Temp sources. Mm-hmm. Temp source. What does it do with temp sources? It builds it here, but it doesn't do anything. It keeps it so it knows what file to delete. Okay, I see. I see. Mm-hmm. I see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That means it won't. If something fails in between here, it won't clean up those files here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hope that's not a problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me it looks as if it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. What about this here? It renamed source lines to lines. Lines. Filter text. Lines. Filter text. Where did it rename it? Lines. Text lines. Okay. Okay, but this looks the same. Same. This one doesn't look the same. Oh, wait, it does, yeah. Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, this looks the same, yeah. Copy to text file, we have seen that. Concat to text file, okay, what is that? Multi-copy function. Multi-copy function. Okay. Source encoding, lines. Concat text file. Okay, so this function is responsible for merging the files. What is it called again? Multi-copy function. Right. Yeah, so a WMD file or any file that will use a concat to text file. Multi-copy function. Okay, fair enough. Source encoding. Line source and sources lines extend. Lines are read without their line ending and are written back with one. So the last line of a source file can never merge into the first line of the next one. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Okay, I think that's fair. eparams. Transform text lines. What was that again? Oh boy, right. Okay, I think this looks really promising. I can't see anything that looks bad or so. Yeah, I think it looks very promising. Now, maybe before we merge it, I would still like to manually build it. So there's a mod builder sample project here. Update. Oh, did we upgrade to mod builder? Source parent. Did we not merge this? Let me see. Mod builder sample. Oh, there's no pull request for this. Oh. New pull request. Where's this push to? It is an origin. But there's only main here. Huh? Where did this go here? Where did this branch go? Let me push that. Oh, but it is here. It is here already. Well, then never mind. Then let's delete that branch. Delete. Okay, well, okay, that was weird. Let me do a pull rebase. Okay, I don't know how that happens, but it's already in main branch. Interesting. Okay, then we can delete this one. Then let's create a new branch. Let's do update to 4. Then let me ask Claude. Let's do a new session. How do we add a new session here? Here. I think we need to change project. What builder sample? Please add some test files. Add some test files and configurations for the new multi-source test files and configurations for the new multi-source functionality. So add generates. Do we want to make a plan? Let's make a plan. Ask questions when necessary, when needed. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it can come up with something good. Yeah, basically put some ini files, some str files, and then a bunch of configurations for them, and then just build some bogus with that. Yeah. Well, let's see if it can actually find. Yeah, it needs to actually. Yeah, so the question is, does it actually find? Yeah, it's looking into the update 2.4 branch. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now it needs to pull the context to understand what it needs to do, and it found it here. Multi, yeah. Searching and finding. It failed here. Okay. Okay, let it work and figure out what it wants to do. If it can't do it, then we can do it manually. No problem. Okay. While it's doing things. Oh boy. 106. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All these drafts here. Oh. Oh boy. There was one thing that we wanted to look at. I got a poke here. Earlier here. Let me look at this one. Refactor WMS and fix issues in weapon and Euler Angles class. Okay. Okay, what does it do? Okay, I don't understand what I'm looking at here. Okay, there are multiple ones. So there's also a conversation. Squash. All old replays are no longer valid. Float. Okay, that's a bigger change. So what is the actual problem here? Artan 2. WW Math. Artan 2. Okay. So I guess this is fine. But this one takes double. Oof. This one takes float and float. Okay, so this seems to be okay. Huh. Is this correct? Changing the mass to none. Is this because it is not logic relevant? That could be that the point is not logic relevant. A point in two-dimensional space using arbitrary components. Are treated as a logical object. Okay, I think this needs a bit more careful review. Yeah. I need to review this next session. I'm too tired now. Okay, let me see what this got up. Came up with. Multi-source test be organized. New dedicated items plus pack. One new item. Yeah, make a new one. Should the binary CSF file be checked as normality? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Why not? Should the sample include deliberately invalid multi-source configs? Deliberately invalid. Yeah, why not do that? Soft ones. Yeah, let's do it, why not? Yeah, leave that. Okay. Good. Okay, so for this one I need to, this one needs a longer review, I think. So this one I think has been replicated. Maybe we can merge it. Merge to generals, all good to go. But didn't put the checkbox here. Okay. 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 Squash and match. Okay. Let me see if there are any other that can be also merged now. Out of the target is to enter as invalid. Dead units being considered. Prevent dead units from being considered for Horde membership. Okay, so let me look at this one again and this one. Was there any follow-up here? Oh, okay, that was already dealt with. That won't work. Have contain returns false from it, but hands are the same. Okay. Can we perhaps add tunnel contain return true to cave contain, or will that break anything? Okay, that's better, yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's leave it open still. Like I have this one more question here. Okay, what is this? Right. Group 0 can be viewed. Yeah. I'm surprised that he had to use AI to make this change. That's insane. He had to change this 1 to a 0 and then remove this equal here. And he used AI to do that. That's insane. That is insane. Yeah, well, maybe he did do it by hand, but only generated the description with the AI. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this looks correct. Proof. Okay, good. What does it do here? Let's see. Blah, blah. Okay, set up game lot, multi sources. Okay, you go ahead and just do what you want. I don't care. Okay. Good. I'm tired. I think I'll end it here. I think we have way too many reviews being created right now. Everyone's opening 10 reviews every day. Yeah. So it's a lot of spam. But okay, the game gets better, yeah? I get more insane, but the game gets better. So it's a trade, right? So that's almost 1,400 pull requests that have been closed here already. Approved ones, yeah. And I looked at every single one of them. Yeah. I reviewed 1,400 pull requests. Oh. Oh, man. Oh. Well, many of them are easy. Some not so much. This one needs some labels, by the way. Yeah, bug minor input gen zh. Is that for both games? Yeah. Surprised that this no player. I've never heard any player complain about this. That they can't view Team 0. Because because team 0 is at the very end, right? So typically you start teaming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? So it's very unlikely that you have a team 0 because it's the 10th team. And so it's unlikely that players use that. Yeah. And so that's why it's not a big problem. Interesting. What is this? Copy. Yeah, go ahead. Can I tell it to just go ahead and do whatever? Just go. Do whatever you want. Good. Okay, what is this? Blah, base multi-source. Go ahead, do whatever. I don't care. If I don't like what it generated, then I'm just hand edit it. Yeah. Game lots, part 1, part 2, part 3. What does it use then as a source? Let me see. What builder sample? Projects, data, any, game lots. What does it look like originally? Okay. Yeah, you can split it up to multiple ones. Make one here, another one there. Okay, cool. Objects. Okay, cool. Okay, it looks very good what it does. Yeah, it creates the files on its own. It modifies the JSON files. It even generates a CSV file. And then it even wants to test it. Okay, go ahead, yes. Okay. I think I will end it here. I will click a bit further here until it's done, but then I'm basically done with this. Yeah. I have nothing else to do, really. Yeah. I'm tired. Take a look at this one here. Add cache, does not consume. Needs Needs no comments. Debug functionality. I want to look back. Take a look at that. Shouldn't be consumed there. Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to... I don't want to click all the time here. Just let's let it work. Maybe there's a setting for this, I don't know. So where are we? Here, toggle render. Case here. Toggle render. Kill area selection. Yes, looks like a couple more. Okay. Now it wants to build. Okay. Go ahead. Build. Go ahead, whatever. Exit code. I'm really surprised that it can like test on its own and do all these things. It's pretty cool. I have to say, it's pretty cool. I understand why people just vibe code with it, right? Just let it work, and you don't need to use your brain. You just click buttons like a dumb monkey, right? I'm really not doing anything here. Just looking. I'm just staring at the screen. I could be replaced by some. You can go to the jungle. Just pick any chimpanzee or gorilla. Yeah, and put him here in front of the keyboard. Maybe it would destroy the keyboard and the mouse because they have like strong muscles, right? So they probably press the things very, very strongly. Yeah. But they could do the same thing. Yeah. They could do everything I'm doing right now. Yeah. If they can read this. I don't know if they can read. Yeah, that's probably the biggest barrier to actually read and understand. Right, so would they be able to understand that they need to press yes? Well, it's blue, right? So it looks inviting, right? Put the cursor there. Like they don't need to understand that no is decline, right? They only need to see, aha, blue button is highlighted, move the hand cursor on there, and I click monkey happy, right? Gets a banana as a reward, and the code is being built and tested and shipped and supplied to billions of customers around the world. And yeah, and then at his home forest, a new data center will be built. Yeah, all the trees that will be cut down to build new data centers. Yeah, because monkeys do good work with the generation, AI generation. Yeah. So what is this here? It wants to test more. Go ahead, do whatever. Yeah, I don't care. Oh, there's an error. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should ask it to build some unit tests. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because that's what it's doing right now. It's basically manual unit testing, which is not pretty good. There's a fair, pass fair. Mm-hmm. Okay. Expects A. Hmm. Done. All test files, configs are in place and verified. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Then I will review this also next session and also run it manually, see if it works. Okay, cool. Then I will end it here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.